I started doing my research, it became apparent really quickly that looking for female spheres of power, women in public office, public power and responsibility and honor, a lot of that was in the realm of the spiritual. And over time, I researched more and more about medicine women, priestesses, healers. And so I'm going to show you in this segment some of the visual talks. This one here is actually a 3-hour DVD movie. But there are also a whole series of visual live casts that I do and are eventually going to be streamable one way or another. Just looking at the cultural record, what that has to show of this female spiritual leadership that so rarely gets attention. If that's really a mild way of putting it, it gets completely blocked out in most cases. But this is the live cast that is some of the same material that's in the Woman Shaman DVD. And then also looking at invocation and the gestures of invocation that you see all over the world. Psychic technologies, ways of ecstasy, spiritual traditions, ancestral teachings about who we really are as humans. The healing ways, curing with stones and water, fire, smoke, touch, gaze, massage, so many different ways. Ceremonies. And then there's a body of visual talks that are about the living traditions. And I've just grouped these continentally because it was too big to put all in one show. So one on the medicine women in the Americas, another one on the female shamans in Asia. There's a whole thing to talk about these names and titles. And if, for example, here in Africa, why not use African names? So the Isangoma and the Banganga, the Tungutu, various many names. I sometimes use shaman because that's something people can recognize and understand. In Europe, the story of the witches and pagans, and there's a shamanic dimension to this as well. The Wu in China, and that's a very rich story, and I'm going to be featuring an article on this here on the Patreon page. Legacies of the priestesses, so many different traditions in temples, sanctuaries, and shrines, women leading public ceremony, and often through the medium of sacred dance, a sacramental dance that's very profound in looking at women's cultural history in many different traditions. So that's some of what I have. There's more, but that's going to be something that is available for streaming live once I get all those things in a row, and that's why I need funding. So thank you for your support.